to have a candidate almost in the whole of Western Uganda. I didn't find any poster of your party.
What I'm saying, that's a different matter. So where you are seeing
the areas where you are, the areas where you're not, and others.
Where you are seeing
celebrate that.
Where you are seeing attraction, so many people coming to compete for a ticket of NUP should be celebrated as a success. Why do you want to call it a failure?
You seem to be having a good laugh. Last week it was NRM. Now,
how can you laugh?
It is the opposition.
These ones can't laugh.
Honorable Semujju, I want to tell you that this indeed I'm elected by the Electoral College.
Yes.
40 districts, 7 people per district. Known. For example, the councillors for other persons were elected in 2021. They did not know Ofuno would be a candidate. So there's no way Ofuno would have influenced their being. And then the 5 leaders of NRM Elder Persons League, or the Persons League. And I went to each of those 40 districts. They're the ones who congregated here. 371 to elect me. 290 turned up. The others, I think, went to sleep or didn't turn up. I think 10 had died earlier on.
They ate your money?
No. 10 had died earlier.
Okay.
Before the conference, and I got the votes I got. Now, the 2 colleagues, you can see them skirting around. Even your own question, Njana, you moved from Radio 1 to here. They poached you.
No, they didn't.
For whatever reason. For whatever reason, you left Radio 1, maybe a better pay, maybe better work environment, and so on. And you came here. So movement shouldn't be a big issue that people are moving from. But for the opposition, it has a problem. Why? Because they are saying all of them want to focus on weakening and, if possible, remove NRM. Therefore, you would expect serious political groups either to come together and form one front, alliance, whatever it is, so that they tackle NRM. If their calculation is that they want to give NRM multiple sources of headache, then they can do what they are doing, but they should not be poaching from each other. They should be endeavoring to recruit either young people who are just coming and going to politics, civil servants who have not been in politics, now they are retiring, they want to, or come and poach from the NRM. They are not doing that. You saw Honorable Semujju, even well knowing he had been a member of cabinet of NUP in parliament, shadow cabinet. When he fell out with the FDC, he chose to form a new party, PFF. He did not either he doesn't have confidence, he doesn't believe that NUP, its direction, its mission is serious. I suspect he thinks that they became a member of the leading opposition by accident, by some unfortunate accident. I think that's the reason why he chose to form PFF when there is a NUP, and the NUP, which is dominant in the area where he's standing, in Buganda. So I think the decision of Honorable Semujju to form PFF is his vote of no confidence, and the public is signaling the public a vote of no confidence in NUP, the direction NUP is taking.
So what then is fundamental as you see now NUP getting shaken by these defections?
No, I have first of all, I have issues with the Honorable Muwanga. Even when Muwanga defected from DP, abandoned DP, he announced it alone. There were a group of like 5 MPs from DP, from Buganda here, because they did not agree with the direction Honorable Muwanga was taking. Muwanga did not go to Butambala and collected all DP followers in Butambala to announce together with him that the entire DP machinery in Butambala had moved. He moved alone and they followed him. So it is possible for Mutebi to move to PFF, but under the ground, the membership, membership of NUP, who believe in him, maybe, I don't think is group that is not as dangerous, because I don't consider PFF any longer. It's the people in PFF. I don't consider them any longer that dangerous and subversive. The way we no longer consider UPC such a serious threat.
So NUP is the force that you must now decimate.
Any serious person, yes, should be able to. Now,
but
my brother Kena.
But I want to ask you.
I would even pray that if prayers work, I would even pray that he increases his numbers, because he is now amiable to the NRM direction.
Thank you. Honorable Kena.
No, let me first
I'll give you a minute.
Yes. But you stay in Mukono, is that so? And a lot of these friends here stay either in around cosmopolitan Kampala, Wachiso Mukono. For heaven's sake, from the villages where you are staying, are you seeing any movement of supporters?
No, of course, that's what I said.
That's why I want to tell you. Because you stay around here.
In my Mukono district,
yes.
In my Toro, where I come from, I don't see movement of PFF. I don't see a movement of UPC there.
Yes.
I don't see FDC perhaps, but I see a sprinkle of NUP. At least I can say a poster in Toro roundabout, a poster of a NUP parliamentary candidate and a presidential candidate. As I drive along the way, I see the sprinkles of NUP. So yes, I agree with you, there's no PFF.
And so that's what I'm saying.
And there's no DA.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. DA. I want you to separate the behavior of the political elites in Uganda. All of us, we tend to be generally opportunistic and self-centered.
With the exception of, not all.
I'm saying generally, and I'm being general. Even if Museveni, you told Museveni you are no longer president or chairman of NRM, he will form another political party.
Oh, okay.
Even Akena here, if you told Akena here, he's no longer president of UPC, he will form UPC.
Thank you. Honorable Jim Akena, when you see all these fissures emerging within political parties, do you want to buy into the thinking that actually now the opposition is the enemy unto themselves?
No, I think we're getting the whole story wrong. There's an element of, at some level, especially Parliament, there's a financial attraction or a perceived financial attraction for someone to be in Parliament. But what I can say about human nature is that put a group of people, any group, whether there's resource or anything, somebody will want to show that they're the leader. There will be those who look around and maybe give trust in somebody, but that question of leadership or the desire to show leadership will emerge whether there's a lucrative aspect to it or not. It is the common nature of human beings and group dynamics. So it's how do we manage such a situation? And NRM have made it worse or coming, especially at parliamentary level. I believe NRM have completely destroyed the whole nature of parliament and why people aspire to be in parliament. A lot of this issue of the high salaries around parliament is that parliamentarians have tried to put themselves as the gap, and many of them find themselves trying to fill the gaps where government has failed. In the health services, 90% of parliament have ambulances. Members of parliament have ambulances without a budget to run it.
Do you?
No, I don't.
When they pick patients, they take to their homes.
No.
Oh, they take government facilities.
Now, who is supposed to be running the ambulance services? You see, when we step into something and you create that illusion that you can actually solve the problem. I would rather, us as Member of Parliament, we put our foot down and we make sure that there's proper health delivery. I watched NRM in their debacle issue about Busoga, and they talk about historical issues. The president is talking about an individual. The same evening, I saw a news item of a 14-year-old girl with a child. And do you know how she was lured? Chapati. Mere chapati. Poverty on the ground. We are not addressing the plight of the people. So this whole politics, we can be posturing who this opposition, what. Our message or our purpose must be how do we improve people's lives.
Honorable Kena, when NUP came on the block, they were looked at as an alternative to the mess that had manifested within the opposition. Do you want to say that they too have failed the mark?
No, I think we, all of us, are failing the mark if we don't understand the problem and have the right prescription. I can tell you openly, none of us can do it alone. None of us.
President Museveni is managing the politics of Uganda in his own understanding of managing politics, and he thrives in confusion. Honorable Semujju's party is formed as a reaction to a disagreement of money that was allegedly injected into the FDC as we knew it from President Museveni. So Honorable Semujju is in the PFF because of President Museveni's influence in the party which he called home, a political home. So his problem cannot be divorced from President Museveni. Now we move to the NRM. The Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, on the eve of their election at the National Delegates Conference, was not addressing the chair of the Electoral Commission, was addressing who? The party chair, because she knew that it is the party chair who calls the shots. So the Delegates Conference of the NRM, the people that won elections in that Delegates Conference were people that President Museveni wanted to serve his interest, which is right now to prepare the political landscape for the takeover of his son. Okay? So the colleagues of Mr. Fono Pondo who were complaining that I was ejected from SEC, oh, what, the chairman didn't protect me the way he protected Achigongo and the like. Problem, President Museveni. Come to UPC. Honorable Akena, the reason why he has 4 factions in a party, I have talked to some of his colleagues. Some of them have come to me, and for me, I have political clients across the board.
Yeah, but Museveni never organized the vetting. Museveni never organized the vetting.
No, I'm going there. I'm going there. Honorable Akena is seen by a section of the party as somebody who is holding brief for President Museveni. They say he sold the party of his father to President Museveni. Okay? And there is both anecdotal and empirical evidence to support that. He cannot run away from it. In the eyes of a common Ugandan, Honorable Akena is in bed with the NRM. He's not any different from Honorable Mao.
Again, it's President Museveni.
It is President Museveni. We move to NUP. Honorable Muwanga himself has submitted here. He has told this August meeting that, you know, we are fearing to go into a primary of adult suffrage because we can be infiltrated by President Museveni's what? Machinery. Okay? And I want to credit Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi because at least he's aware. He's not like our brother, Honorable Akena, who even doesn't know that as a political party you should be running an intelligence wing which monitors what happens in other parties. For him, he thinks that you should leave that as internal affairs. Yeah, you should be monitoring what is happening.
Can I respond to this one? Monitoring and interfering are 2 different issues.
No, nobody asked you to
I know what is going on in NUP. I know what is going on in PFF. Yeah. So if having intelligence and knowing what is going on, I don't interfere.
What is interfering?
No, nobody asked you to interfere.
Even to comment, I don't have a need to comment.
Yes.
I don't have a need to comment, but I have need to know.
Okay.
Don't put words and even issues. And even when you bring this issue about empirical things, if there's empirical things, they would have been airing it. Mm-hmm. Where they say, I can now in the bed, whatever. I've spoken. I've been in politics for 20 years. Mm-hmm. Let them play a clip where I've turned around and betrayed the party. Just show me one clip. You see, people just speculating. I have engaged NRM openly. I have been the champion of IPOD, where we have a roundtable discussion. I've had bilateral discussions, not only with NRM, with other political players.
Do you have a cooperation?
But
do you have a cooperation agreement with the NRM?
No.
So how do
did your member end up in cabinet?
Without an agreement.
And your member is even telling the constituents that she's going to liberate them and bring freedom from a government she's serving in the cabinet.
No, you have not got her message. I don't know where you're getting that message.
No, it is on the poster. She says liberation and freedom.
Yes.
From who? From the cabinet, the government.
The issues which they're dealing with there, where Betty has played a big role, is issues of poverty and incomes. So please, if you're not in the little politics,
Honorable Kena has changed. But even those of us who are working with UPC in Parliament, we had trouble. One time I was the chief opposition whip. I read the names of UPC MPs to committees, NRM government whip is also reading them. And I think he needs to accept that part of history. That the Akena you're talking about today, the description you have given is of Akena of yesterday. This particular one, I am very sure now.
In Parliament,
I am very
UPC
sure.
has a unique
but where he is now is embattled. His legitimacy is not a question.
No, in fact,
UPC has a unique position. We have cabinet members on both sides of the house.
No, in fact, Simon, Honorable
on
Kena
both
has
sides of the
charges.
house.
He has a
UPC
case of
cabinet.
contempt of court again hanging on his head. Why? Because he organized a sham delegates conference when there was a court ruling.
Please.
Yeah. So members have taken him to court.
I want to drive you back.
Yeah,
to the
but I want to go to NUP.
Yes.
Honorable Kena,
No, before the
point.
sham issue, I called a delegates conference a week ahead. The court ruling, which I get after the event,
Yeah, but
came
court
on
quashed
Friday
you.
evening.
I mean,
Friday evening.
you're illegally in
Not to
office,
say
Honorable
I
Kena.
organized it, but I had organized it. The court ruling tried to undermine it. So please don't say that I went to undermine it. Please.
Simon, on this floor,
Don't
I will
put words
not
which are not
divulge confidential information which I have. But Honorable Kena is not being very forthright with the truth with us.
Yeah, but you're also describing him. You need to understand that his positions, at least as I see them, have changed. The one who was engaging and
maybe it is tactical.
Yes, it would be tactical.
I said as I see them, I cannot,
and I will explain why. I'll explain why he can change right now.
I can only stop at what I see.
You can only see
Where we are now, there is Dennis Enap and then there is Akena.
No, there are four.
I don't know who of the
them.
two is the legitimate.
No, there are four of them. Actually, the legitimate one now is Peter Waruviri.
No, it is Enap.
No. Peter Waruviri was an interim president of that party. They held elections which one Mr. Joseph Ochieno claims to have won. But he also could not access. Now he is in control of the premises of the Uganda House, where the party headquarters
So
are.
is he a coup leader?
Yeah. So then Enap also came up, and now the misgivings that other people have against him and Mr. Enap are that they seem to be working for the interests of people within the ruling establishment. Specifically for Mr. Enap, for example, the information is that he's protecting the interests of the MK group in UPC.
MK has interest in UPC?
Yes. Because MK is preparing for power. These people are just are not looking at it that way. MK is preparing for power. His father is also helping him to prepare for power.
Is Jimmy and MK as children of presidents having a convergence of mind?
That has been, of course, in the open. But
Okay, you get to NUP as we take a break.
Let me go to NUP. See, the NUP, I said I credit Honorable Muwanga for coming out and saying we are scared of President Museveni influencing the outcome. even NUP has played those dark arts in other places during NRM primaries. In parts of Bugisu, there are NUP members that could go and vote for NRM candidates who are weaker, whom they believe that would be defeated at the ballot. But be that as it may, NUP, I personally have reservations about the NUP, and I have stated it before, that the NUP, having taken the position they took in 2021, by the way, something that nobody else had done, to wipe the NRM out of an entire region. Nobody else had done it. Even Dr. Besigye at his prime had not managed to do that. But the NUP managed to do that. But then they did not...
Did they wipe?
Yes, they wiped the NRM out of Buganda. NRM picked a few seats in where? Zimbabwe? I think 2-3 seats.
And in the cattle corridor?
Yes, in the cattle corridor, maybe 1-2-3 seats. But they wiped NRM out of Buganda. Nobody had done that. That's why you see, President Museveni was determined to decimate NUP. And then, the reason why he did not go about it the way we would have known Vintage Museveni to go about it is because he realized that there was an invisible hand that comes from his family.
Yeah, but Leonard, still as we take a break, I think it would be far-fetched now to blame Museveni for the shambolic processes, vetting processes.
No, President Museveni's shadow is hanging over all these political parties. And I want to tell you that what we are having right now is the legacy of President Museveni, confusion in our politics. Okay? Whatever you see in Uganda today is Musevenism proper. This is the legacy of President Museveni. Yeah, I told you here that it is monkey see, monkey do. The President General of NUP, the Secretary General, the spokesperson are all Museveni grandchildren. These are people who have never seen any other election. The only elections they have seen, bar of course when they travel out of the country maybe as part of election observer missions, the only elections they have seen here is how the NRM of Museveni employs the dark arts to lock out opponents. How people bribe. So two things now define electoral politics in Uganda today: militancy and money. And those are signature aspects of President Museveni.
Yeah, but I think you're missing the point.
The national cause. Right now, what should have been a dominant discussion? 5 months, when is the elections? January? January, we are in September. You hardly have 4 months. But there's no discussion of any policy disagreement. No picture of a common Ugandan in the whole of this discussion. Across the when I saw the NRM,
because parties are not anchoring that discussion in that direction.
That's why I said, that's why deliberately I told you that elections are subversive. That's why I said elections are subversive to the growth and the interest of Uganda.
Is bribery in your party inconsequential?
Njala, don't be so sentimental.
No, I'm not being sentimental. I'm being realistic.
Can I tell you?
You've had complaints of bribery.
Can I ask you, bribery, prove it. These are challenges everywhere. The giver and the one you give has an issue. Those who allege that their money were taken, why did they give it? I'm asking. The one who says, I bribed. So, you see, don't be so emotional.
No, I'm not being emotional. But this is very painful that a party the country looked up to as an alternative is being
we need to have a process that is above board. That's a given.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
The party needs to have a process that is above board.
Was this problematic this time?
That there are those elements as an institution, we investigate them. We set up a whole board of appeal to hear those cases. Even when the party went through the process, said, okay, we can't conclude it. Let's create an avenue for appeal. And a lot of issues because electoral area have been appealed and results changed. We are at that level.
Okay.
But also, we operate in a given political environment that's not dictated by us. We are not about, we are in, do you know what is called Myunden? Ask him. Myunden, vis-a-vis spiritual. We are not a spiritual movement. We are a Myunden movement. We live on earth. What has happened? Let me ask you. All of these people who says they don't agree. Semujju knows that the day you opened FDC to legitimate open political competition is when Museveni arrived at your top table. No, this is the reality. The day we opened the DP, the day we opened the DP to what is called a legitimate election, that's when Museveni arrived. And today you are now in a new political formation away from FDC that you know Museveni is on your dining table.
The very things that you used to accuse Honorable Muwanga, the very things that you used to accuse listen. Yes. The very things that you used to accuse have come to haunt you now. Favoritism, you see, bribery.
Those are your words.
shady processes.
Njala, I want to be fair to you. You are naive.
Thank you.
You are naive to the extent.
But what I'm putting on the table is the reality.
What I'm saying, you are naive.
Fine.
A political movement today that legitimately wants to oppose Museveni must acknowledge certain realities. And he has been very clear. Is that one, Museveni uses voter bribery, the whole trinity of NRM. It is vote rigging, bribery, and intimidation. Those are key things in his election.
But I think you're running away from your own problems.
No,
and
we are not running away. It's simply unlike you, who is an
what characterized your election, your processes was fraud.
Now, the difference between you and us is that for us, we are in the deep end of a swimming pool. For you, you own some katebe somewhere. Okay? And you have the liberty to reason the way you reason.
Honorable Semujju, come in.
I think the opposition political parties, I have told you in PFF, even when you read our constitution, there is consensus building, there is vetting, and then you can appeal to the committee of eminent persons. Our processes as they are in our constitutions are not different from what Muwanga Kivumbi has. I disagree with those processes. We cannot hide because there is security, there is interference. It means you must tighten your own processes, but there must be processes. If I am a candidate, I must, because you see, I don't want us to exploit the vulnerability of people and then say, why did you come to me? Then you have no reason to blame NRM for exploiting vulnerability of citizens. So political parties as institutions must establish processes. I was in Tanzania. Tanzania will have general elections, and I think they choose direct constituency MPs and presidential at the same day, and then they have seats for affirmative action. That's how they choose the women who are in parliament. I spoke to those who are in Chadema, female MPs, and they tell me in Chama cha Mapinduzi, you cannot go through if you're not a mistress of one of the people. Or
is that what is in no?
I'm talking about Tanzania. I'm talking about Tanzania. They told me Chadema, which is an opposition.
You can't be a leader in CCM. Can
you allow me? I'm going to lose this point, which is a good point. They told me in Chadema, they have established criteria, published them. Before you subject yourself to a process, you will know if you are of this academic qualification, you have these points. If you have served the party for this period of time, you have these points. If you do this, by the time you go to Chadema to seek endorsement, if you are 3, you will know Fonopono has beaten him even before the process has started. So the women, credible women, are no longer going to parliament through the ruling party. They want to go through Chadema. At least have criteria, even if you're going to have vetting. That vetting must be based on established criteria. So that, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about something that I know.
Are you implementing that in PFF?
I have told you I don't agree with what you are doing now, but
that's why the man Secretary General is the spokesperson.
Muwanga Kivumbi, you want to speak and parade yourself as if you are very big. Let me tell you, the day the results are published of how many councillors you have fielded, of how many chairpersons, you will shrink. And I don't want you to come here and pretend that PFF is small for you or big. You are judging yourself against yourself. The day you judge yourself against the established position in Uganda, you will not come back to this show. So stop parading yourself as if you are big. For me, the point, and I want to look at the principles, please.
Okay? They ask you about a party ideology. They ask you a number of questions. And on each by the questionnaire is even known.
Is it out in the public realm?
It's known. If you want, it's even in they ask you how educated are you, how long have you been a party member, ask you about party ideology. Then secondly, they do one which is controversial is what they called the ground survey. And I can tell you, Honorable Semujju, for all the weaknesses in NUP, I tell you, and you know, Eddie Awe wanted to stand in Chira, and is a brother of Bobiwine. In Chira, your own constituency. The ground survey brought a different candidate. Eddie Awe was dropped.
So you conducted the survey before you expressed interest?
No.
That's quite irregular.
No. Don't get me wrong.
Did you express interest?
Not in this election. I'm speaking about last election. We are the party, we are the Nachifuma. For all intent, and I can tell you this, there was this presenter, Patrick Omujuko, very close to Bobby. Ground survey brought a one symbol, unknown very well in the political stuff, as a leading candidate. He's the one who really took over.
Yeah, but do you agree there is a lot of opaqueness in the ground survey?
So that is the science that makes us stick.
So ISO did not infiltrate the
that is the science that makes us stick. That is the science that
find
makes
their
us
process quite admirable.
This is a product
Muwanga says
of a bungled exercise by
their ambiguity is what makes them tick.
No. Yes. No came on a pedestal. I think they have not lived up to that pedestal. That is why when FDC broke, Semujju did not find salt in going to NOP. They got disappointed. If NOP had lived to the pedestal that they had talked about, and you can see this.
But himself was the new PM when they were established parties.
No.
That's a normal phono.
I'm saying
you're being theoretical.
No.
There was UPC and DP, both of them.
Maybe the word pedestal is too cumbersome.
No, not cumbersome.
Let me use
human beings are human beings.
Let me use another.
There was UPC and DP and himself formed UPM.
No, let me use another word, expectations. I think to many opposition people, groups and leaders in the opposition, the expectations they expected of NOP of these last 5 years, they are disappointed. And
but are you empirical?
And that's partly why I think.
But are you empirical?
No, listen.
Do you know how many members of the Democratic Party have joined the NOP as members of Parliament?
Don't be a heckler. Learn to listen, please.
I'm listening.
Don't froth.
No, don't. I'm far away. You're not doing on me.
Don't froth. Don't froth, please. Now, I think that's why, even when Semujju was disappointed with Nganda Lwakumanyira and FDC, he didn't join you. Even when you have 57 members of Parliament, no one is joining you from Parliament. They are crossing to other places.
But they got 2 from Masaka.
Not 2.
Nantongo.
I'm talking about.
Go to quite a number.
So, and in the country, and you need to accept that probably you did not meet certain expectations. That's why even when you're a leading political opposition party, the other parties are not joining you. They are not even looking for you to form tactical election alliances. They are not looking for NOP in this election. They are not looking for you. If they are looking for you, maybe in hiding. Maybe in hiding. In fear. In fear. Yeah. But that's why you are disagreeing with him robustly here. Yeah, because you don't. So you have not fulfilled, you have not met their expectations of what they thought, they believed of a leading opposition party, which has got, as he said, a larger mandate, a numerical strength in Parliament than any other opposition group during the NRM. And so, for me, this is not a new trend in Uganda's politics. Because of partly what Muwanga Kivumbi himself said, and Akena, that we are generally, the political elites in Uganda, are generally self-serving. We don't look at, we give the common issues lip service. All of them are saying they want to remove NRM, they want to remove Museveni. But underneath, they are actually simply looking for parliamentary constituency, which NRM has made so lucrative, so juicy. All these guys are fighting more to get back to their constituencies, come back to parliament.
Self-preservation.
He was in Mbarara North where he lost.
No.
You mean he was also looking for a lucrative job?
Listen.
He didn't go to Luwero first, he was in Mbarara where he was defeated.
Museveni had been a Minister of Defense.
Yeah. So he went to contest, he got defeated.
Museveni ran for president of Uganda, by the way.
No, there was no running for president of
simultaneously, if you're the party leader and you win, and your party
he was in Mbarara North where Kutesa defeated him. So he went to Luwero after losing an election.
Listen. Museveni ran as member of parliament simultaneously as his party leader. So if his party had won, he would have become the president. But you are diverting. So,
but you can't win it.
No, that was the law. That was the law.
That was defeated.
No, but which constituency did Dr. Obote run for?
That was the law.
No, which constituency did Dr. Obote run for?
Obote did not.
So he wasn't
it was the law.
No, it was the law. Yeah, it was the law. But Obote used mischief, actually. He used mischief. Obote used mischief.
So the guy was running for president of parliament?
Yes. Obote used mischief because the people who organized the election were his dominant group.
But President Museveni was the vice chair of the military commission.
Yes, you can.
Which was organizing
elections. You can be a figurehead vice president. Haven't you seen them? You are the one who has just left off at Akena.
Anyway, Opondo, what's your point now?
So I am saying the opposition won't be able to unite because that's your wish. And you from opposition, that's your wish that they unite and give NRM a run for its money. But the country can't unite when you, the spokespersons of your entities that are supposed to galvanize them, you are not only disunited, but you are also conflicting. Some of your conflicts are irreconcilable. Some of your conflicts are not just irreconcilable, but they are also extremely antagonistic. The reason why you fell out with the FDC, the reason you can't join him, the reason you have said Akena has 4 factions, the reason Mpuga, after falling out with the Muwanga Kivumbi, is not joining you. Instead, he chose to form his DF. And I am saying those are simply fronts for personal gain.
Thank you.
Honorable
Akena.
We are discussing what is now.
Honorable Akena.
Discussing has happened before.
At the onset.
We shall say how many levels PFF will get.
Well, fine. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Semujju, can I take over the show? At the onset, NUP was looked at as an alternative that came to do away with the evils that had infiltrated other parties, the traditional parties. Do you imagine they are falling in the same trap?
I am still thinking that your focus is in the wrong direction. In all honesty, as things are now, the main task which NUP has is using the official platform to keep government in check. And that one is not strictly only NUP. My young brother, Honorable Semujju, has done a good job on constantly keeping that issue. But now, where we're focusing so much on the inner workings, or as Mr. Gesa talks about the threat of NRM or the threat of Museveni in the political landscape, you see, Museveni is not invincible. And there are people who fear Museveni as if he's got some whatever. No. Yes, but he's not. He's a human being, right? And there are areas where we need, as Ugandans, to address what is our problem. And this issue where we keep going around, how are we addressing this future of Uganda? The politics. My issue around IPOD, which I've always talked about, is we need strong parties. Strong parties help guarantee our democracy. So even if I disagree,
the strength of NUP getting compromised?
Even if I disagree with I would rather have an NRM which is functional and organized, NUP which is functional organized, PFF which is functional organized, than have something which is hollow, which the parties often will go through that difficulty. And that's why these issues of funding come in and whatever. But funds have been used to misrepresent and also to portray a different position.
Okay, now, do you worry that NRM, rather NUP, is suffering the same fate other parties have suffered, where money, favoritism, and other evils have brought them down, have grossly compromised them?
And I am not worried per se, because I honestly believe that we will find a way through this one. And as far as I'm concerned, I know what I'm prepared to do and what we're working towards in this 2026.
Can Muwanga give us the report of Chairman Nyanzi's extortion? Because that was formed long ago.
Now, OO is here just to disrupt people.
I'm not disrupting. I thought...
Okay, if OO wants to jump into this one, I will go back to where we were in Kololo. People talked about elders or whatever. Who talked about the people of Busoga? Up to today, who's talking about the people of Busoga? Can you really explain this economic miracle which NRM talks 6% growth and whatever, and poverty is finishing people in Busoga? Okay. Now, when we go on to economic issues, you're going to now interrupt us and stop us again.
Okay. Honorable, I know it was just an interjection, but maybe it's very important, because we are talking about the evils or the gross irregularities within processes. OO is asking about a commission of inquiry that was instituted to probe allegations of bribery and sex.
Simon, as a friend, when you come with a particular issue and you lose a cause, you don't persist on it. You came here to make a point, to portray NUP as a party full of favoritism, full of bribery, corruption. You've lost it. Since we started.
Was there an inquiry established?
And you keep coming.
No, was there an inquiry established?
You keep coming and coming and coming and coming. One, NUP doesn't work in an OCS. It's part and parcel of what he has described, Buganda border politique. And he has described it well, that all these young people in NUP, the only thing they've known is Museveni and NRM.
And his dark arts.
And the dark arts. Now, you, as not a realist, want us to operate without that reality. We must navigate through and bring change, aware of the dark arts of NRM. Now, if you want us to behave so naive, to behave normally in an abnormal situation, then we're abnormal.
No, but I think you're not answering the question.
I'm answering your question.
Where is the report on investigations into sex and money?
I'm answering a report. At least there was an investigation.
Yes.
Now,
and what did it reveal?
No. Is this the forum?
Yes, it is.
Unless you are subversive.
No.
Yes.
No, NUP is accountable.
No, what I'm saying, what I'm saying, unless you're also part of the dark art of Museveni.
No. Why?
Because
why do you find it troubling? Why do you find it troubling? Why do you find it troubling to lay on the table?
Njala, what interest do you have in painting NUP that level? Because you are also becoming an agent.
Why?
You are becoming an agent simply because it's your own interest. As Akena said.
No, look. It was a public pronouncement from your principal that a commission.
As a man of good heart.
Yes.
Have a goodwill to every institution that is born. It's not. It does not give you any credit
Muwanga,
to use the platform. To use the platform. No. I'm also
without answering.
I'm putting on the cross. Don't use your privileged position of being a host of platform to paint a legitimate political party.
I asked a very innocent question.
You are also part of a deeper state. Then
I think that is escapism now. Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi, I asked a very simple question.
No. I'm also asking you. What I'm asking you, as a man of a goodwill and good heart, who wishes Uganda well, who wishes political party well, what benefits do you get in persisting on that line?
Leonard, because is it important for the country to interrogate?
You are also part of the of the deeper state.
No, I think you're just being paranoid.
No, I'm not being paranoid.
You're just being paranoid.
Because you've come back on
I'm
it.
afraid.
Yes,
it's very important.
It's as if it's what brought you here.
You are not giving us answers.
As if it's what you Njala.
You're not giving us answers. You're simply scattered around.
Let me also be personal to you. Because Njala,
to the point.
I know you were at one time disappointed with Nup. Because you have ever thought it's card. And you failed. Don't use that opportunity here to vent your
I have never sought a card from
You did.
That's for the record.
You are my friend. I know what you are doing.
Never.
And you don't use that frustration.
Let that go.
You've been a parliamentary candidate and failed, and Nup defeated you. And you want to use that opportunity? Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
You don't see any Busiro.
I think you don't have history.
No, you don't see any Busiro.
Was there a Nup in 2016? No, was there a Nup in 2016?
No, what I'm saying.
Please. Let us talk to someone. And let me give you feedback for the answer you are asking. A report was done and handed over to the president of NUP. But the detail of the report was full of hearsay. No one came up and provided any concrete evidence whatsoever to pin anyone. Now, Simon, so I want however to come out. I want to ask you, if Simon, in your vintage point, you have evidence, please come up, then Ugandan listen. I think that's very interesting. Yes, as deputy president, you were clueless about whether there is a report. Instead, you went on to blackmail. We are blackmailing you. Simon, I'm not blackmailing you. You are in a massacre. As an MC, you are part of the constitution. You are not neutral. I think to hold the discussion in a political environment. Let me talk about this whole thing of voting.
A subjective analysis.
Defection.
Yes. No. Before we go into defections, you see, I want us to understand that in Uganda, access to power means accessing resources, getting money. I think we have, this point has already been made this evening, that people look at politics as another way of getting jobs, better paying jobs. Yeah. So now, the political players, they have to understand the dynamics of power. Power is only retained by the paranoid. So paranoia cannot be divorced from the politics of maintaining power. Now, what happens is this: if you have people in a vehicle like the FDC, and then you have contradictions, these people are not going to say that which party is the closest to FDC in ideology. No, before we move, no, because these parties are not formed on ideology. They are formed on the basis of vehicles. Is that where I can win? In my
can be an ideology.
Fine, okay. Okay, whatever. So what happens is that they say if we go into PFF, then we must find a way of not losing power. So that is the paranoia setting in. So we must find a way of not losing power to latecomers. You saw the other day on Right Honorable Kadaga also trying to ring fence and say no. The guys who just, people who just joined the party the other day cannot be running for a national vice chairperson position. It is the same everywhere. So these people are being paranoid. Why? They have been groomed in a political environment which has been, created by a military general. Now, paranoia is the other name for military operators. You have to succeed in the military, you must be paranoid. That's why you see that military men, when they are walking on the street, you have to be paranoid that you will be taken out any time. That's why they walk looking over their shoulders. No, but paranoia is part of the military.
Suspicion.
You have to be suspicious that you could be taken out.
Being suspicious, being paranoid, are they the same thing? Okay.
Vigilant.
Okay.
You can use synonyms, whatever synonyms you want to use. But the point is,
I think,
all about power.
okay, is it important for the country now to interrogate the contradictions, the imagined contradictions?
No, there is nothing to interrogate here, Simon. We are just going around and around.
No.
The point here is that President Museveni is managing transition politics. He has decimated the political opposition, put them into fights, either internal party factions fighting each other or one party fighting the other, while for him, he's organizing his NRM vehicle also through confusion for his son to take over.
Okay. Do you agree there are cracks now in the parties that are unprecedented and that are likely to be costly for 2026?
But what did President Museveni mean when he said he was going to decimate the opposition and wipe it out? But before I forget the point I wanted to make. Simon, let us now be realistic. You have President Museveni who has been in power for 40 years. He has contradictions in his family, which have played out in the open. You have a son-in-law on the other side. Now, I want to ask a question. If you are a son-in-law and you see the son has been made the Chief of Defense Forces, and everything is being done to align him, you know, with the path that will lead him to the presidency. When you're a son-in-law, what do? You sit back and what?
You divorce.
You divorce the member of the first family you married? What am I trying to make? What point am I trying to make?
I don't think...
The point is this. No, don't bastardize my point.
You are passing for an answer, but I think...
No. The point here is...
You are trying to analyze things that you don't have full facts about.
No, the point here is...
You are pontificating.
No, don't rush to interfere. The point is that opposition and NRM are now being managed by the Museveni family.
No, okay.
No, but
can we go specific?
You expect him to tell you?
Yes.
That he's being managed?
I'm not being managed, and I've never been managed.
Are you saying PFF is being managed by Museveni's family?
No, but for PFF it's very clear.
Are you saying
PFF left FDC because they say
no, but they're not PFF. Are they also being managed by Museveni family? The spokesperson is here.
No, but you have asked them why they didn't join NUP.
No, I'm asking you.
No, why do you...
The spokesperson of PFF is
no,
here.
he's the Secretary General.
He's also a
Spokesperson.
He has two positions, according to Muwanga Kivumbi, because they don't have the numbers. So one person can have 3 positions.
Honorable Semujju, we held that more like an alternative. Are they trapped by the same evils that affect FDC, that affected DP and other parties? And do they seem to be actually working towards correction?
The propriety of political parties is also not guaranteed that it will be forever. I was with Kivumbi in Makere in 1996. That time the main opposition personality was Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogere. DP, but he worked with everybody. So he played his part, and there came in Dr. Besigye. Kyagulanyi also came. I don't want to measure the propriety of political party on how best they have managed themselves. You can actually manage your party better but lose popularity. People who went to support NUP did not even know how it is going to be managed. I don't think that's what attracted them to support that party. If you speak to Muwanga Kivumbi, he will tell you that people who went to support Dr. Besigye were DP supporters. They are not DP supporters. They are not NUP supporters. Because we were asking that question earlier. Did you see the NUP supporters also shift? They are not your supporters. They are not FD supporters. They are Ugandans who are pursuing change. If you give them the best opportunity to achieve it, they will follow you. If a person emerges next week and he represents that best opportunity to remove Museveni, even if all of you stay in NUP, including the councillors who have gone to FDC, they will leave you the same way they left FDC, left DP, and left everybody. They are not your supporters. Yes.
They
that's
just
why I told him David Andesari at the beginning of his party, invited me to speak to his party. They had wanted me to join. And I told him Uganda is in a very difficult position where every election is a referendum on Museveni. And in a referendum, there are usually 2 sides. So you cannot establish a third one. So people...
Why did you establish this PFF, which is in the 20th party?
PFF has a...
It was going to be a two-horse.
PFF has objectives that are short-term and long-term. We might go into this election, we have said this many times, even when you defeat himself, he will cheat you. So if you are a short-term objective person, then you will go home and sleep. That's why Semujju, when they lost, they went to Kawus to cry. And they said they will never participate in election. Please don't judge us the same way. For us, our objective, first of all, we want to participate in this process, or we want to aid them. We don't have to be the one driving them or phone upon. Muwanga Kivumbi was DP when supporting Dr. West. I have gone, we've been to many constituencies, of DP before, they have been to our constituencies. And that's why for me, I'm not emotional about a political party. So even if you come here to rubbish PFF, I don't lose sleep, because PFF is just any other vehicle to aid the process. There can be more than one. When Museveni was in Luweero fighting, there are other fighting groups. Moses Sari was in West Nile, there was in Kwanga and so on. Don't bastardize.
You're coming off as scavengers now, wanting to crush the National Inter-Platform by poaching all their members onto
First of all, you are using your choice of words. I don't understand it. if there is an internal process in a NOP, and some people think it is unfair, or they think that the opportunity for them to access a political office has gone to someone else, and then they go to pursue it in a different... We are not poaching. We've presented ourselves, but there are also people who have left us and joined the NUP. I have two MPs.
This kind of rivalry, is it healthy competition?
It is no more. I don't lose sleep because someone has left. I was with two MPs when we were starting PFF in Ginger. Both of them went to join Muwanga Kivumbi. I don't think he poached them, but they thought the NUP was giving them the best opportunity to go and join the parliament. I don't begrudge them. In fact, for me, if people keep moving from parties to opposition parties, I don't feel bad. I'll feel very bad if they have joined NRM. This is scavengers. Because I know I'll have...
No, you're the one who said choice of words.
I know I will have lost them. But if colleagues abandon me and they think I'm not offering...
I have never bothered to try to convince this man to join NRM. Because I'm sure he wants to give us any value.
So can I complete? You see, a person leaving NUP to join PFF or vice versa, for me is not a loss. The loss is someone who has run mad and has joined NRM. The point of
are you saying
but in politics it's what we call keep them busy, take them nowhere. You are busy, there is a lot of political activity taking place, but we are not making any headway as people who are aspiring for change.
I agree with you, because part of the challenges we face as political parties in Uganda, that all of you running political parties are also candidates in the next election. I was in Ghana when someone resigned as a member of parliament to go and become secretary general of a political party. Even then, when I have been a journalist here covering elections, when campaigns are ongoing, there was a time when they were pleading people to go and sit at their headquarters, massive as they claim. So you visit our headquarters during the campaign, you may find nobody there, everybody from the president has gone. So
there's a huge group, about 10 of them. We told them
that's a new development.
Don't go for elections. You are going to run the party activities.
That's a new development.
And NRM has never been vacant, because in our past 4 elections, Chairman Chigongo has been the chairman of Water Force. I have been the spokesperson. I'd never run for office. When I was in that party at Plot 10, I never ran for office.
Do you think?
So, there is no poaching. We
have and there are no scavengers also.
In NRM there are scavengers.
No.
So the movements of individual or groups of people, they may legitimately be running away from unfair internal party processes. And we have a duty as managers of these parties to improve our own processes. You cannot be criticizing NRM for their mistakes and then you cover up yours. Then you will be pretender.
Thank you. Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi, how complex does your relationship become with comrades like PFF and others who are now poaching from your camp?
Actually, you see, poaching, I keep saying, for me, the movement of the elite doesn't worry me.
These are elites.
Yeah, these are elites. Yeah, the organization of doesn't bother me. I look at the movement of the tectonic plates. Are they a ground movement on ground that is shifting?
Is Madada among the elite?
No, what I'm saying, of course. Who is an elite? An elite doesn't mean someone with a degree or a professor.
But Madada
even
is
in
a
the village,
foot soldier.
they are elites for villagers.
Madada is a representation of
No,
foot
what
soldiers.
I'm saying, no, what I'm saying, even when she's a foot soldier, she's an elite in a foot soldier. Okay, so understand. The warrant officer class 1. So Madada is not your ordinary foot soldier. Madada, by the way, has been an actor. She has been in FDC. She was there, cadre. Moved in here. We know who these people are, where they've come from. So she's not your ordinary actor. So she's an elite. They worry, as Honorable Semujju put it, at the back of the people is they want to see us being efficient, having a special purpose vehicle, one, to convey their issues. Even if you don't remove Museveni, to make sure that their issues are brought to the table. And what hurts me, and where you are doing a disfavor, is that this time, 4 months to an election, the entire discussion is on which egg has broken, on which tray, not the nature of the eggs you have. So that's the discussion.
So you
that's why I've said, I told you at the beginning, that this discussion and most of the electoral processes are subversive to the common man's cause. Because as Semujju has told you, the people of Uganda today, we've seen it. At one time they were with the Seya. They moved with whoever. They moved with whoever. So at every time, they will follow a particular leader that they think represents the best chance on taking on Museveni. If it is Akena here, they will support him. If it is Yunjara, they will support you. They are that generous.
Do you want to suggest that?
That's why I ask you a fundamental question. That it's not in your interest as Simon Njala to puncture as a semblance of being effective. No, this is ratify the mistakes.
We are simply
ratify the mistakes.
He's contradicting himself. At one point he says that the elites can move and the ground doesn't move. And then then he moves very fast and he tells you people have been moving with elites.
No, understand.
He himself moved when he moved.
No.
Mutambala shifted.
Yes, Mutambala shifted and went.
No, understand me. Understand. This is where me and Semujju agree. Is that the people of Uganda, on their, and you spoke about it, they want a better run country. They are tired of Museveni. They think he has failed them. And he thinks today they are in imposition. The NRM today, or to the people of Uganda, they are in an imposition by virtue of either having a monopoly of forces of coercion.
I just want to tell our viewers that we are now switching to Afro
and their chance to go to our consolidated fund. So they use those two vintage and run the state infrastructure to impose themselves on the people of Uganda. Even if they legitimize that through a semblance of an election. But the fact is that you are using coercion, you are using a consolidated fund, because here can tell you, all those people he says, they have been told, don't run, you run a secretariat, they're going to be put on the same salary as ministers, from whose money. That's why today, all knows, we have a 4 trillion classified budget. And this year it's going to be 6, this financial year, because there is an election. I can even tell you they have overdrawn. Even as we speak now, because we are entering an election, they are already having an overdraft of a bank to run. Now, if you have this kind of a regime that this has this access to our nation, scavenging on our national resources. No, we are not legitimizing a facade, but also let me ask you, what option do you have? For all of us, be like you, become analysts.
Yes.
No. You want us to be like you.
Fine. Honorable Muwanga, it's almost time.
When we ask Muwanga Kivumbi about allegations of bribery, sex, and so on in NUP, he says, you prove it. For NRM, he picks and he says, you have overdrawn, you have raided the consulate, can you prove it?
Yeah, you know. Take me, I will prove you.
You, to take your word, you.
He has been a shadow.
Those matters are more knowledgeable than you.
He has been a shadow minister for defense.
The table the evidence here. Table the evidence here that NRM has raided.
Yes. Tell me, where did you get the money for sponsoring your conferences?
No,
tell Uganda, you have been a spokesperson.
First of
Do you know how much money you spent?
First of all,
do you know how much money you spent? Tell us whether you did any fundraising to raise that money.
when we do fundraising,
No, I'm asking you, where did you get the money to sponsor this Nambola affair and in Korolo?
Okay, Muwanga, let him respond.
when we fundraise,
Tell us your social.
must you come to here and tell you that this way we have fundraised? That's true. And I am even surprised that Muwanga, who's a member of parliament, so-called shadow cabinet, or whatever, finance, doesn't know that the government of Uganda, through a law, through the Ministry of Finance and the Electoral Commission, gives NRM money and the other political parties represented. You know how much that money is. Assuming you are financially literate and intelligent, you can keep that money, you can accumulate it, and you run a bigger thing like that conference we had. But also, NRM is not new in the government. NRM was, before government, NRM was somewhere. Did they used to fundraise?
So where did you get the money?
No, but the OO is also misleading. Where was the NRM before government?
NRM,
Where was it?
you don't know that there was NRA, there was NRM?
The NRM was a ragtag army in the bush. It was not anywhere accessing resources. They were robbing banks.
You don't know.
I'm asking you. They were robbing banks.
Now you take it from me.
Take bandits.
They take it from me. They might have robbed the bank, might have taken the profit, but they also fundraise. And I can tell you, NRM has international sponsors legitimately. NRM does fundraising here. We don't have to go and announce in the public that you're doing fundraising.
But they're not required to
What happened to the money which they fundraised for the NRM?
Let's allow O to make a point in a couple of minutes, then I'll get to Jimmy and finally Semujju.
Anyway, the point I'm saying is, NRM was there before being in the government. NRM, NRA, they fundraise the resources, including the money, to prosecute that war. 2, NRM has been raising money internally because NRM has the largest membership, probably even the richest membership in the country. 3,
NRM has the dealers.
3, you can call them hula dealers, but as long as you have not proved that they have robbed from somebody else, as long as the sources of their money is legitimate and is running in the country, they can contribute to NRM. 3, and which you should be able to see, visible, the government of Uganda, that money, the government of Uganda gives political parties represented in the parliament, NRM takes the biggest chunk.
Thank you. Honorable Semujju, as we say now.
And since we are intelligent in using money, we know how to accumulate and grow our money. Yes.
You remember a company called the Danze?
Well, yes, I do.
You remember?
Yes, I do.
What happened to it?
Yes, I do.
What happened?
Well, it was collapsed. And that's the
Honorable Semujju, we want to get out of here. But,
you are running petrol stations.
But
do you run all of them efficiently?
before I bring you on, Honorable Kena, do you think the relationship amongst parties is becoming more complicated over time because of failed internal processes and suspicion towards each other?
No, failed internal processes, not necessarily. I will agree to some extent where my colleague here talks about internal interference. That one happens. But it should not make us lose sight. And like he quoted some of the court cases, but I can also give you other court cases. The last court case said I'm the president, but my term was supposed to end on the 1st of August. So what I did in that period, I was doing so with official recognition or as a president. Then you have a ruling of 2015 by Justice Musota, where you remain president until there's an election held. So there's a lot of confusion there. And when we sort out court issues, eventually we sort out. But for me, my politics is not in court. It is also not in the media, it is on the ground. That is where you find me. So whether he's bringing his son with PLU, they'll find me on the ground, controlling the ground.
Yeah,
so
but
you
remember,
make your noise here.
you're not a registered voter. You know that.
I will sort that one.
You're not on the register.
I have gone through many hurdles. In these last 2 months, hurdles have come left, right, and center, but I'm still moving ahead. End of the day, we shall be on the ground. And I'll urge all other political players, all this nonsense, fighting each other, don't bother. You hold the ground. And the issue which is we must have a clear message for the people of Uganda as to where we're going. If we don't clear that one, we're just going to be going around, pushing around. And let me end on this issue. I'm a rider, motorcycle rider. I also do the racing. There's something which you have to teach kids quite early, what you focus on. Very often what you focus on is what you're going to hit. If your focus is completely there, you're going to hit that item. So you have to be able to think around. Now, if your whole issue is Museveni this, you'll see Museveni. Even where he's not, you will see him. Even where he's not interfering, you will see him. You must have your own plan, your route, and how you're going to cut through there.
Thank you. Honorable Semujju, as we get out of here, do you think these are quite unprecedented times for the opposition? As someone who's been in the trenches.
See, what worries me is not the movement of people, the disagreement, because those are normal. Even in NRM they exist. The reason Kadaga cries at call is not because they agree. The only reason she doesn't leave NRM is because they all want to parasite around the state. What bothers me as what bothers me as a Ugandan and should bother everybody is that we've been ushered into a family military rule. All the state institutions have been appropriated. They are now under the direct control of Museveni, and because he's of old age, his son by extension. I was in Mitiana to open an office, and so we are in new leaders of PFF who were tear gassed on a very simple civic exercise. We were even running away to come to radio stations. Yesterday I told the Parliament I was in Muwanga to open, to speak to my constituents who had invited me to open their office. Police confiscated the tents and chairs, and they said you are supposed to be in a hall, not in open space. I have seen the draconian regulations the Electoral Commission is issuing during this electoral period, and then immediately they issue them, police is amplifying them. We are prepared each election cycle that first thing you prepare, you're going to be beaten, you're going to be arrested, they're going to kill people. So these stories of people who are abandoning parties and joining others, you're going to you will forget them tomorrow when they begin corroborating people with military that they have deployed everywhere. I'm saying at one time said the military must be in barracks. Now it is on the street. It is behind our houses. So those are the things that should bother everybody, including Ofono Pondo, who works in this government, that we're going to an election.
He's retired.
We're going to an election in which our hands I am paid to oppose government.
Yeah, you are working in it. You are working in it.
Okay, I mean if that pleases.
You are working in one branch of government.
If that pleases Ofono.
But that branch belongs to the people of Uganda. It's National Assembly. It's not NRM.
I have said.
It's National Assembly of Uganda. NRM will go, it will still be there. Whichever party comes, it will be there.
What you have said is okay. I want to hear you speak about the militarism, the beating of people, the shooting Dr. SJs in Rizia for 8 months. The other day you abducted Sam Mugumya. So we're not sure they will reach home. So that's where we are now. The days of UPC. When they were killing people and abducting them. So please take it.
What a show. Thank you very much, Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi, Honorable Akina. What a pleasure.